Good morning, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Before we jump into the series today, I just want to remind parents today's message is PG-13. More of a word or a couple words we'll be using, not because of the content, but I'm going to talk for a second and give you a chance if you want to rethink our children's environments or just hang out. I'm going to give you a second to think about that. I'm going to talk about some other things. And then we'll jump into our series today. This morning you came in, you noticed a Christmas tree. We only had one up, not because I only want one, I want 50. But because this one tree is really special. On it is ornaments like this. It's our hope for the holidays as we partner with Shelter from the Rain. So as we care for single family or single mom-led families, we're inviting you to participate. Each of the ornaments on the tree has a family that represents a mom and children. So this card I have in front of me, it's already been taken, has mom and 4 kids. If you are desiring to make an impact, an incredible impact on our community, this is one way you can do it. We partner with this organization, help these moms so that at Christmas time, even in the summer we do backpacks, that they don't feel the burden of both Christmas and utility bills or mortgage or car payment, that we will take the Christmas side so they can continue their budget as normal. It's an incredible opportunity. Not only do we do this, we get to give the gifts to the kids, or we get to present the moms with these gifts. We don't want the kids to know much about that, but we get to be a part of that and love on these kids. We would love for you to join us. The goal is not that you would take a whole family by yourself. If you are financially capable of doing that, that's incredible. But we want you to share the blessing. Would you be able to take this and invite your maybe coworkers or your family or your neighbors or maybe your small group to join you and a collective group come together to help this family? It would be amazing. That's our hope. Today, practically, if you walk up and grab an ornament, which looks like this, and walk out the door, you have done our process wrong, and it will not work, okay? Just so everybody knows, there's one way to do it. You get the ornament off the tree. You go to our guest services team that's beside the tree. You open that said ornament. You fill out your name of who's taking the ornament, and then we give you the Christmas wish list, okay? So if you take this, you don't know the wish list. That means you did it wrong. If you turn this in, and you receive the wish list, which also gives you all the dates of when to return the items and how to return the items, and the day that we're giving away the items. If you get that, you have done it correctly. Please help us do it correctly. That's it. So we'd love for you to participate with that. It's amazing. Everything we do in this season is for a purpose, for you to engage and be a part of what God is reminding us that He sent Emmanuel, God, to be with us in the form of Jesus. And man, He is worthy of our worship. And we celebrate what He did for us. What we could not do, He did. So anyways, we're in a series. And yes, this series is called Porn, Politics, and Protein. And I will explain some of the words as we go throughout it. I want you to know this. This series has been on my heart for a long time. And I've worked through the words for months. I've worked with a team. I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to say something that people are like, this is, what are you talking about? There's a word we don't speak of. But the heart of this series is very important for the local church. And local church travels throughout the United States. It goes in the different parts of the world. But we as a culture need to understand that these 3 words are having a deafening impact on the church. They are destroying hearts, ruining relationships. And I want to make sure that we understand what it means for us to live like Jesus, because that's the call of the church. It is not to gather on Sundays and be encouraged. That's not the call of the church. It is that we would inspire each other to look like, live like, serve like Jesus to the world around us. That our life would be a tool for God to make Himself known to others. And so, as we jump in this morning, and as I stick very tightly to a script, my prayer is that you will just listen. This is not for somebody else. This is not a conversation that we're having that you're going to go like, oh, Chris's message is great today. You should listen to it. You don't have to do that. You can be like, Chris's message is horrible. You should go watch it. You can do that too. It's not for you to like share. It's not for you to like give it. It's for you. If you would just remind yourself of a mirror this morning, a mirror that you look into. And when you look into it, you see you. And you know everything about you. The same for me. When I look in the mirror, I know everything about me. And so as I write these words, I'm writing them through my story, my lens, my experience. And my hope is today that you would do the same. Just allow this to be for you, nobody else. There's one thing that each of us have in common today. We all have this. It is scientific. It is not like a Jesus thing. Each one of us is born with an appetite. And everybody's appetite desires some similar things. We are all made to need and want food. Case in point, go one day without eating, your appetite will make itself very much known. Your stomach will growl. You can go out with one meal maybe. It'll rumble. You will want food. And you will give it food. And guess what? The next day, it will want food again. It's an insatiable hunger. It constantly wants. It constantly needs. That's what an appetite is. But for this series, which is only 2 weeks, I just did 4. It's only 2 weeks. Did anybody catch that? Okay, so just make sure you know math. For these 2 weeks, we will define appetite a little different. For just these 2 weeks, an appetite is this. It is a hunger of the heart. It is way deeper than a physical need. It is a spiritual need. Each one of us in this room, we have a hunger for purpose, love, intimacy, meaning, belonging. We all want this. We all need this. It's a space designed in us that only God is meant to fill. But for many of us, we often try to satisfy it with temporary things. We look to other things, more quicker satisfying things. And the problem isn't this morning that we have a hunger or that we're hungry. It's that we just keep running to things that won't satisfy. Porn or pornography offers connection, but always gives isolation. Politics offers control, maybe even security, but it never gives peace. Protein, the one that you're probably like, what does this mean? Our obsession with physical health or fitness or appearance, how we're seen or portrayed or viewed in the world around us, it offers a strength, like a confidence that I've got everything together, but it comes without any form of surrender. These 3 words, possibly hot topics, we're not going to address them in the form of their worldview. We're going to address them in the form of a spiritual view, because the truth is your appetite is spiritual, and it's always reaching, always longing, always craving more pleasure, more possessions, more approval. Like, just, again, let's be honest just for a second. We're all in this room together. No one can see your thoughts. Just think, has there ever been a time in your life where you wanted more pleasure? Maybe more possessions or more approval? And when you got it, it wasn't necessarily like fully fulfilling. Like maybe it satisfied for a little bit, but then it's like, I want more. It constantly needed more. Like that's the appetite that we're addressing this week. And if we're not careful, we'll spend our entire life feeding on things that will never fill us. And let's just be very honest. The world is constantly communicating. It's constantly pouring into us. It's constantly speaking very loud, very clear. Its message is simple. If it feels good, do it. For all the parents in the room, why it's important for your kids to know why you follow Jesus, why it's important for you to have conversations like we're about to have, is because we have a world that does not shut up. I said the S word, I'm sorry. It constantly speaks. If it feels good, do it. If you like it, go for it. If it makes you feel better, awesome. If it feels good, it's the best thing. Go for it. There's a viral like TikTok, YouTube, and I'm going to say this all wrong because I'm not smart in this area, but the whole nature of it is this phrase, nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know. Yeah, like a lot of the students are, if you're like 25 and younger, you're like, I get it. You know, 20, maybe 29 and younger, I don't know. But nonetheless, you're like, I've heard this before. Nobody's going to know. Like that's the message of the world. If it feels good, do it. Because no one's going to know. No one's going to know if you like that or if you did that. No one's going to know if you're engaging in this or liking this. Like, nobody's going to know. Because the world's message is so clear. It's all about you. It's selfish in its nature. If it makes you feel good, do it. But just as much as we can all be honest this morning, this is not necessarily a Jesus statement. Hear me out for a second. We can all agree that when desire takes the driver's seat, when our desire, our craving takes the driver's seat, we end up in places that aren't usually good for us. We get to places that we never intended to go. Like, how did I get here? The reason for guardrails is to keep cars from going places they don't belong. When desire is driving, guardrails go out the window because the message is clear. If it feels good, do it. If it makes you feel better, do it. And we end up places we never thought we would be. Our culture is teaching us. We've learned to satisfy every craving instantly, immediately. Yet few of us have ever stopped to ask, and church, this is for us. If you're a Jesus follower, this is for you. Rarely do we stop to ask this question, is this, whatever I'm engaging in, shaping me into who Jesus wants me to be? Fill in the blank. Is this shaping me into who Jesus wants me to be? This question ought to be the question we ask before engaging in anything, before stepping into anything, before doing anything. Like this is not like a once and done. This is not like a quick fix type of topic. This is a beginning to a never-ending journey of asking this question. Is this shaping me into who Jesus wants me to be? A very similar truth that we've stated this morning. We all have appetites. The same is true in this statement. What you feed grows, and what you starve dies. If you argue with that, you should go read a science book. Go buy a plant. I'll test your green thumb here because I'm a pro. I'm a pro at killing plants. I should. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know why. I drown them or I forget about them. But nonetheless, if you don't give a plant water, it will die. It happens. If you cut a beautiful plant off from its stem and put it in a flower vase, it is beautiful for a couple days. The truth is it's dead. If you go buy a Christmas tree in a few weeks from a large store and pay lots of money for something, you're buying a dead tree. You put that dead tree in your house and you will decorate that dead tree. And just so you know, it's dead. It's done. If you feed something, it lives. If you cut it off from its source of food, it dies. It's just a true statement. What you feed grows. What you starve dies. With that truth in mind, we're going to use this one verse to unpack over 2 weeks. In 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 17, it says these words, "Do not love this world, nor the things it offers you. For when you love the world, you do not have the love of the Father in you. For the world offers only a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. These are not from the Father, but are from this world. And this world is fading away along with everything that people crave. But anyone who does what pleases God will live forever." He's very clear. When we live for this world, when we love what the world offers. And it offers us three things: a craving for physical pleasure, a craving for everything we see, and pride in our achievements and possessions. When we love these three things, we love the world. The love of the Father is not in us. And I'm like, well, that's a pretty harsh statement. Let me make sure you understand this. The world only offers things that create a selfish desire within you. You be you. If it feels good, you do it. If you like it, take more of it. Like, the world is constantly saying what's best for you. But that's not the message of God through Jesus. He's not offering those things. And so when he says, if you love the world, if you crave physical pleasure, if you crave everything that you see, if you have pride in your achievements and possessions, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, hold on. He's like, if these are the things you're going after, the love of the Father is not in you, because you cannot love what the world offers you and also be and love how God wants you to. It does not work. He says, anyone who does what pleases God will live forever. So this week, we're going to tackle the first two cravings: a craving for physical pleasure and a craving for everything we see. The first, a craving for physical pleasure. If I were to break it down into like human words, like me, he says, I deserve to feel good no matter the cost. That's what a physical pleasure love is. I deserve to feel good, and I don't care what it costs me or anyone else. Both of these cravings, especially this one, these cravings start in the senses, in what you can see and you can feel, you can hear, you can taste, you can touch. That's where it starts, but it doesn't stay there. It doesn't stay in the peripheral. It moves deep within us and into our soul. Specific to the first word in our series, porn. Porn feeds the craving for physical pleasure. It promises things but never delivers. It promises intimacy but doesn't deliver relationship. It promises pleasure but it removes commitment. It promises an escape but it never heals. It only destroys. Pornography objectifies people made in God's image and trains our hearts to consume instead of connect. Like, if you just think for a moment, everything the world offers teaches you to care about you and you alone. Like, pornography does just that. What makes you feel good? Consume. But it removes all ability to connect. As we jump into this, as we keep in this, I just want to I want to state some of the obvious. It's important to me that we don't just gloss over some words, because the world is speaking that some things, this ain't bad. It's not bad. Listen, everyone does this, both all these topics. Everybody. This is the world we live in, right? I just want you to hear some stats. Approximately 61% of the general U.S. population reports viewing pornography. Among those 61%, about 78% of men and 44% of women report watching pornography on a consistent basis. Not just seeing it once, but constantly or consistently. For teens, a survey was taken by, it's called Fight the New Drug. If you're a parent in the room, you should have received an email from me last week giving you some of these resources. There's a website called Fight the New Drug. It is not a Christian resource. It is a scientific resource on the effects of pornography. And they said, their survey, they found 73% of U.S. teens ages 13 to 17 have viewed pornography. Parents, it's really important. It's really important that you know how easily accessible, and maybe your kid is safe. But with such a staggering statistic that 73%, the kid around your kid is viewing things that you never dreamed possible. For many of you in my generation or older, we're the beginning of the .com boom. Many of us were almost oblivious You cannot be oblivious anymore. The statistics get worse. It says regarding exposure and accessibility, in 2021, 98% of pornography accessed by young adults was internet-based. 69% of that was viewed on a cell phone. For just a moment, I want us to speak as a pastor. And I speak in the sense that I'm not assuming, but I'm deeming you my flock. You're what I'm supposed to shepherd. And in so doing, I protect and I keep and I speak truth. If you're a parent and your child has a cell phone and they are 6th grade or younger, you've given them access to one of the most dangerous places we have on human earth. You've given them the capability to view things and to go places and see things that were very difficult, hard, 30 years ago. It's accessible easily. If you're a parent in the room to an 18-year-old or younger, I need you to understand something. If you give them a device, if they live underneath your roof, that device is yours. You own it. It belongs to you. And you're giving it out on loan to your child, which means that in any moment of any day, you have access to everything that's on that phone. That is not a breach of their individuality. It is not they have their own space. No. You've given them something that could destroy their life. You better maintain it. You better access it. You better know the passwords on it. You better approve the apps that go on it. If you have any questions on these things, I'd love to talk to you about it. I am not the best. But my kids know from personal experience why we have a dome of technology protection over my house. And even that's not foolproof. Like church, we have to understand the world that we live in. And it's constantly speaking, constantly saying, if it feels good, do it. We must not remain silent. We must speak. Those are stats on usage. Porn doesn't just affect behavior. The science behind it says that it rewires our brains. Pornography hijacks the reward system in our brain, dopamine. A surge of dopamine is its reward. But just like all appetites, it needs and wants more, needing more dopamine to feel more pleasure, constantly needing it. And in fact, it says causing everyday life experiences to feel boring or dull. It creates a cycle of addiction-like behavior, compulsive, loss of control. It changes your decision-making abilities. It changes your how you process and think. It desensitizes the brain. It makes you less sensitive. Real relationships are less satisfying. It alters. Listen, this is crazy. It alters neural pathways. I am not in any form or shape a doctor, but when you have resources like this available, when you can go to Fight the New Drug and see the amount of money in research, you begin to understand, oh my gosh, like this is real. It says that it alters neural pathways. It teaches the brain to long for pixels, like imagery, versus people. It creates in you a desire for anonymity or isolation. It moves you to a place of false pretenses or fake instead of real life. It increases anxiety, depression, and loneliness. People who often report a combination or a connection between porn and higher anxiety, depression, loneliness. Because why? It delivers isolation. I have a list of things here. It's destructive. It's reforming, reshaping how we think. how we see, how we act. It's ruining relationships. As a church, it's time that we speak on it, right? We address it. Because it's of the world. The world says you will crave physical pleasure in a way that's unhealthy. And we see it. I wanted to give you guys an image or a picture, something to walk away with that not only you would have for yourself, but you would also have, especially if you have kids. I love building fires in our fireplace. Guys, it is like the greatest thing to me. It was winter a few days ago. It was like in the the 30s, and that was permission. Jamie's like, that's permission, because I also am the same guy who refused to turn my heat on. Like, I don't turn my heat on until January 1st, okay? Like, I'm not paying for that. So the fireplace becomes a source of heat, and I love, we have one of those Cracker Barrel fireplaces. I don't know why God bless us with this, but it's huge. It's got a big brick front you can sit on, and it's a big, deep fireplace. I could just put trees in, and I'm not for burning a whole bunch of trees, but I am for heating my house. I just love it. And so I build these huge fires, and it starts to light up my living room. The flicker of the embers on fire, like the orange glow on a cold night, is something mesmerizing. I could sit and watch fire burn. There's just something about it. It warms our home. It draws us all into one room. My whole family's all sitting together under blankets, and usually we have long sticks and marshmallows that we're sitting really far away from, building s'mores. It's something wonderful. It creates comfort and safety. When a fire is in the fireplace, it's beautiful, mesmerizing. But one wrong spark outside the fireplace, and everything changes. A spark on the carpet, a log that somehow rolls out, an ember that lands in the wrong place. Suddenly, that same fire becomes destructive. The warmth, it becomes a threat. What once brought comfort has now issued chaos. Sexual desire is a God-given flame. It's meant to warm a marriage, deepen intimacy, and draw two hearts together. But pornography throws that fire elsewhere, except where God designed it to burn. And it takes something holy and lets it loose in places it was never meant to go. Think about it for a moment. Don't try this, but light your curtains on fire and stand back. Does it stay there? No, it consumes, it engulfs, takes the ceiling, and then they burn and fall on the floor and the carpet does the furniture, and then it starts going to the walls and it hits electricity. Electricity spreads it. And what was once in one place is now everywhere. Porn burns trust. It burns connections. It burns the ability to see people the way that God designed them. Listen, the fire itself is not the enemy. Desire isn't the problem. It's where we place the fire that matters. And for those of you who struggle with this, here's the hope. Jesus doesn't just put fires out. He rebuilds fireplaces. He restores intimacy. He heals the places that have been burned. And he teaches us how to tend the flame in a way that brings life, not destruction. When we give our desires back to God, he turns destructive fires into holy ones. When you move something that God intended out of its intentional place, out of its original place, it becomes all-consuming. It doesn't just stay there. And I speak from personal experience from the age of 12 to 22. It didn't just hang out. It consumed heart, mind, desires. It consumed feelings and emotions. It ruins everything that it touches. We can't keep living as if it doesn't exist. We're not talking about it because Scripture is very clear. It's of the world. And things that are of the world will always keep us from looking like Jesus. The next thing we talked about, so a craving for physical pleasure, physical touch, now a craving for everything the eye sees. And in a more like easy term, if I can see it, I should have it, is the terminology I kind of hold to. If I can see it, I should have it. And just so everyone knows like where I'm going, like the craving for what we see, we have this pull that's drawing us into this news/political world. That we see things and it changes our desires and it affects the way we think and respond and react. Politics becomes destructive when it feeds our appetite more than our faith. A lot of us get sidetracked or consumed in a view or a policy or a plan or a person, and it takes us in places we never thought possible. You see, when we crave being right more than being righteous, we've got a problem. When we hunger for power more than God's presence, you have an issue. When our identity is anchored in a party instead of a person of Jesus, you have a craving for what the world offers you. And you're looking to something that will not satisfy. You're longing for something that will not ever fulfill you. You see the problem with politics, and listen, I know we have like politicians who attend LifeBridge, so I want to be really careful. Like, this is not an attack on a person or a party or people. This is more for our heart's desire and what consumes us. So hang with me. Politics isn't necessarily the problem. It's our appetite for what politics promise that becomes the issue. We long for control. We long for our way, and this way is the right way. And if I get this, I'm good. If I don't, I'm bad. We long for certainty. Like, it's a part of who we are. We crave things that are certain. We can build upon, we can plan upon, and we long for it. And that's what politics promise. It promises superiority. You win or you lose. It promises security. You'll be safe if this. It promises identity. I'm good if this, or I'm bad if that. It's when our appetite craves for what politics promise that we've gotten ourselves in a bad situation. Because now political power and authorities have control over our human heart. And it was never meant to be that way. In fact, Jesus didn't come to take sides. He came to take over. That's a pretty strong statement of Jesus, and I just want you to know, he didn't come to align with a side. He came to rebuild a structure, to transform a way. He came to take over the human heart. He didn't want part of us. He didn't want a piece of us. He wants all of us. He came to rewire our appetites. He came to teach us a better way. In the Old Testament text, he talks about him coming as a refining fire. Fire consumes. He talks about a fuller's soap. It was the way in which they got impurities out of cloth, this grinding, cleaning process that was brutal on material, but it would get it clean. He didn't come to fix this and change that. He came to transform us. He came to teach us a better way, to love even when we disagree, to listen before we speak, and to treat people like image bearers before we treat them like opponents. To look at people and realize and understand, God, you created them. They are your masterpiece. And sometimes we look at them like mess ups or broken pieces, fragments of what God tried to create. You've probably heard the Christian cliche, God doesn't make junk. Many of us have a lot of politics to be yeah, you messed up, God. You didn't do right on that one. You're broken. And again, the things of this world, it teaches us to look out. It teaches us to judge out and to only care about oneself, what makes me feel good. When the truth is, in all these situations, we're so quick to judge. We're so quick to call out. When Jesus is like, I want you to look in. I want you to look in your heart. Where are you broken? Where are there parts of you that's maybe misaligned or not correct? At the end of the day, what you feed will grow. And if we keep feeding the political desires in us, it will eventually drown out the voice of the Holy Spirit. What did it look like? In both of these situations, what did it look like for Jesus to retrain, I'll get that word out in a minute, our appetites? What did it look like for us to crave his kingdom more than our preferences? What did it look like for us to hunger for his truth more than our opinions? What would it be like if the church, and this is LifeBridge, I hope this and pray for this for the global church. What would it look like for LifeBridge Church to be known not for how loudly we argue, but how deeply we love? It was Jesus that said, love your enemies. Jesus didn't come to be like, oh, don't do this and do that. Don't engage in that. And he didn't come to like give us laws. He came to rebuild us, transform us. He came to show us how to walk in freedom, to love, to look like, live like, and exist like Jesus on earth for those around us. Both the consuming attributes of porn and politics, they're symptoms of a misplaced appetite. A hunger that will truly never be fulfilled, will only want more. And James exposes the outcome if we give into these desires, if we allow it to reign in our life. He says in James 4, verse 2, you want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill to get it. You're jealous of what others have, but you can't get it, so you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it. And let's just be honest with you. I'm sure it feels a little weird to pray to God for the person that you want to win politically. I'm sure it feels a little weird to say, God, but can I please still go view this website or this internet with nobody watching? Don't tell anybody, God. It probably feels weird to go to him and ask him for the things of our selfish nature. Why? Because it just feels wrong. We weren't wired to be that kind of people. We weren't created to be like that. And so when he says you don't have what you want because you don't ask God for it, it's because you're afraid to ask God for the things that you're actually engaging in. It's a complete connection. That when you want things that aren't of God, you're living for what the world offers. But Jesus modeled for us just before he's taken to go to the cross. He's looking to God and saying, hey, God, not my will, but your will be done. It's reminding ourselves of what we said in the very, very beginning, which I will find it in just a few minutes. Is this shaping me into who Jesus wants me to be? Is what I'm going after, is it creating a more loving spirit or an angry spirit? Is it creating me to be more engaged with people around me, or is it creating a desire to be isolated and secretive and hide? You can answer the question. You don't need me to answer it for you. He's very clear. These things wreak destruction in you. You want what you don't have, you scheme and kill. It doesn't mean you kill, but you can destroy a relationship. You're jealous. And so you get this idea or this motive, like, I'll do whatever it takes to get that. You become laser focused on things that you're not supposed to be laser focused on. That's the life of a destruction. Unchecked appetites lead to destruction. They fracture relationship, they fuel discontent, and they distance us from Jesus. It silences the voice of the Holy Spirit in us. Conviction goes away. We become numb. And then we're living for the world. If it feels good, go for it. But I don't want to leave you there. Paul speaks to hope. In Romans 13, he says these words, "The night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor of right living. Because we belong to the day, we must live decent lives for all to see. Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness or sexual promiscuity and immoral living or in quarreling and jealousy. Instead, clothe yourselves in the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ and don't let yourself think about ways to indulge in your evil desires." He's not saying don't feel desire, because that's a hunger in us. He's saying dress your desire in Jesus. Like, let's be really practical. Like, you dress like people you spend time around. It is such a true statement. If you want to argue with me, come and find me after church. Like, I remember this in high school. Like, there were some kids who I'm like, whoa, you didn't dress like that last year. Like, they showed up the new year. I'm like, whoa, where'd you get those clothes? Well, that's not who I remember you being. Oh, you're hanging out with those people. Okay, cool. I get it now. Makes sense. You become that. You dress who you spend time with. Just look around you. Most people dress like you that you spend time with. Like, it's just a fact. He's not saying don't feel desire. He's saying dress your desire. If you spend time with Jesus, if you ask him, is this desire in me going to lead me to be closer to you, to look like you, or lead me further from you? I bet you get your answer. But many of us, like James said, our wants have become mutilated. Our desires have been consumed by the way of the world. Selfishness has taken on, and it's going to take some work to stop and ask Jesus the question, does this make me more like you? Does this make me look like more like you? Really quick, as I move to this application point. Porn, politics, protein, they're not necessarily the issue that we're facing. They're just mirrors revealing what's happening inside of us. Like, these three words are good examining words for what's happening in our heart. They show us how easily we trade eternal joy for temporary satisfaction. I watched the news today, it made me feel good. I watched the news today, it made me feel bad. I watched more of the news, it made me feel good. Really quick, there's this thing called algorithm. I'm totally digressing from my notes. Like, our social media, our Googles and our whatever you're searching on is learning you. And it's going to start feeding you the things that you like. And so that voice that you like only gets louder. Makes you feel like everybody's got that voice. But you know what? Everybody doesn't have that voice. Not everyone around you thinks that. But you're getting consumed. It's feeding you. And the more you take in, the better you feel. But then eventually it doesn't feel good, so you get taken more and more and more, because what you feed grows. And it's time to starve some things. So how? How do we starve some things? It'd be really easy for you to walk away today and be like, you know what? I'm going to will it. I'm going to have all the willpower. I'm going to just be really strong, and I'm going to quit. I'm going to refrain from, I'm going to stop looking. I'm going to turn this station off. I'm going to delete that app. You can willpower yourself that you're going to walk out like, I'm strong, because you got a boost of Jesus today. And it feels good. I'm done. And then you're going to oversleep in the morning. Like, man, I'm so tired. What's wrong with me? Man, I just need to go watch the news. That'll make me feel better. I just need to engage in this place I shouldn't go. Like, day one, and we're already back to gosh, what's wrong with me? Why is it that I can't escape it? Because the truth is, you can't do this alone. You can't just will yourself away from these things. The world is like hooks. And the craving for physical pleasure, the craving for things you see and want, they don't just throw one hook in you. They throw more and more and more. And when you try to detach, it's like pulling things loose from you. you can't escape alone. But we've bought into the lie that, well, I can't tell people. I mean, if I tell people what I think or how I feel, well, then it's going to expose things. They're going to have questions. And I'm not ready to answer the questions. So you know what? I'm just going to do this by myself. I'm just going to try and try and try again. I'm just going to be good today until tomorrow comes. We weren't created to do it alone. We must ask for help. Like, first thing I want you to think of, if anything I've said this morning connects with you, this statement is the most powerful one. You can't do it alone. You must ask for help. Psalm 107:14 says this: He led them from the darkness and deepest gloom. He snapped their chains. We get a very clear view in Psalms of God's characteristics. He does something. We actually sang about this morning in worship. He is a chain breaker. Like, that's what he does. That's who he is. He helps release us from the things that bind us. What do chains do? It holds things together. It keeps you attached to the way of this world. That's what a chain does. And when you go to break free from it, man, it is pulling against deep parts of you. Because remember, it's no longer in the senses. Desires, like cravings, they don't just stay in the senses, they go into the soul. And so now you have a chain to your soul, longing for things. And when you go to break away, it is like, it is destruction, and it's hard, and it's difficult, and you wrestle with it. And many of us give in. You need a chain breaker. You must ask for help. Psalm 107:28 says this: Lord, help. They cried in their trouble, and he saved them from their distress. These are two verses that are repeated like some 200 times in the Psalms. They cried out for help, and he responded. The Old Testament is this beautiful picture of the nation of Israel going away from God, crying out for help, and God restoring them. Them going away from God, them crying out to God, he hearing their help, hearing their cry, and he helped them. Like, he's this God who comes in, and that's what he does. He breaks bondage. Many of us today need to ask for help. In AA, the first step in the 12-step program is acknowledge you have a problem. Many of you today are like, you have to be honest. I can't do this on my own. I can't separate myself on my own. I can't free myself from my own. Like, there's something in me that just constantly wants information. It constantly wants to go places I shouldn't go. Like, there's something in me that's craving it. God, I need help. I can't escape it on my own. Ask for help. Just so everybody knows, every Wednesday at 7 o'clock here at LifeBridge, there's a place called Celebrate Recovery. If you have hurts, hang-ups, or habits that you can't seem to break free from, it's an incredible place. You can't do it alone. Here's the three things after everybody acknowledge you can't do it alone. The first thing that I want you to think through and just hold on to: filter what feeds you. Just like a guardrail keeps you from going places you don't belong. You ever notice that guardrails are like in between highways? You don't want to cross over into oncoming traffic. That looks bad, right? Our human life, our heart needs guardrails. You have to have something that keeps you from going places you don't go. Filter what feeds you. Parents, I sent you a whole bunch of resources, but Covenant Eyes, it's going to sound crazy out loud saying this, but xxxchurch.com, please be very xxxchurch.com. They offer free resources for you to help put guardrails up. If you have a device, as much as I want to praise Apple, both Apple and Android have ways, especially for kids, to help secure and lock down things on phones. Like, filter what feeds you. Ask yourself daily, is what I'm consuming feeding my spirit or feeding my flesh? Just like if you want to be healthy, you change your diet. Many of us need to change the diet of our eyes and mind. We must stop engaging in some of the rhetoric. We must stop engaging in the dark places of this world. If we stop engaging, it will eventually begin to have an impact on who we are. If you starve something, it dies. But It takes more than just willpower. So the first one's like putting up some willpower blocks, right? Some things that help you be strong. The next one is where we invite God into this. We fast to refocus. Fasting is not like something we do once a year. Like, let's fast. And fasting is not also something you do for like, oh, I need to lose weight. Yes, it works if you do that. But fasting has a very deeply spiritual component. It's an opportunity for you to refrain from something and replace it with prayer. So just like everyone has an appetite, if you don't eat for a day, the next day your body's going to tell you you're hungry. If you fast from something, you're going to find moments where you're like, ooh, I want to go watch this. Ooh, I want to go do this. Ooh, I want to go engage in this. And when you have that desire to do this, you're going to pray. Hey, God, this desire is taking me off course. Would you help restructure it? Would you help put the fire where it belongs? Would you help me prioritize who's important? Maybe you need to abstain this week from social media or late night scrolling or even certain TV shows that trigger things in your brain. What do you need to refrain from? What do you need to abstain from? And in replace, pray. Hey, God, this hunger that I have for this, can it be replaced for hunger for you? Some of you are like, I've tried that. Like, this is where like discipline comes in. This is also where help comes in. You do it on your own, you can give in because nobody will know, right? TikTok's that right. Nobody will know. I mean, Instagram's true. Nobody will know. No one will know. You'll be fine. But you know. And you know how it's impacting your relationships. You know what it's doing to your spirit. You know why it's making you angry. You know what's making you feel disconnected. It's making you run or hide. It's making you do all these. You know what it's doing. You know. You know. Ask for help. Filter what feeds you. Fast to refocus. And the last one is this, and this is my most practical thing. Fix your eyes on truth. Memorize this week. If you have cameras, phones, get them out of your pocket, get them off your seat. Take a picture of this verse. Turn my eyes from worthless things and give me life through your word. Psalms 119:37. This is your job this week. Memorize this. Like, memorize it today so that tomorrow morning you wake up and this is what you say to yourself. Turn my eyes, God, from worthless things. Things that take my heart away from you, that steal joy, that destroy relationships, that mess me up mentally, emotionally, that rewire my brain into things that are not true. Turn my eyes from worthless things, God. Turn is like a 180, right? Turn and give me life through your word. Remind me, God, that when you feed my soul, I experience all the truths of who you are. It's not always immediate like we long for, but it takes some time starving out the old self and finding life. His words remind us. They strengthen us. It teaches us, this is what I got to do. I got to turn my eyes from this. I've got to turn my attention away from this, God, because what I see, I want. What I see, I need. So help me turn my eyes. Fix my thoughts, my mind, my eyes on you, Jesus. Remind me that there is life in your words. This is just the beginning. The way of Jesus is a constant. I need you. It's a constant, I'm looking to you. It's not like a once and done. Like the problem with some of the faith that I adapted when I was a kid was that it was, I pray this prayer and I'm good. I'm saved. But the whole working out my salvation, the whole like how to learn to live like Jesus was like, where's that? This is one of the basics. This is one of the principles of following Jesus. It's learning to ask for help. It's learning to confess. It's learning to say, I don't have it all together, I need some help. It's learning to retrain some things. Hey, I'm going to refrain from this, and God, when I desire, I'm going to look to you. I'm going to fast from this. I'm going to turn my attention to you. I'm going to retrain my focus, God. This is how we do it. And so maybe this morning you need help doing that. I'm going to pray for us, and We have people here. And these people are not like judgy people who are like, I can't believe it. Or, oh my gosh, I never saw this coming. Like, they don't do that. They want to meet you right where you are, and they want to be a tool, a resource useful for you. They want to meet you right where you are. If you would like to come and talk to somebody, they're here. And now, I also acknowledge this because I'm not a fool. That some of you are like, well, I'm not going to go do that because that's admitting to everybody around me that I need help. That is such a lie from Satan, who wants nothing but your demise. He wants you isolated and alone and lost and stuck. And if you just choose to keep doing the same thing, and it makes you a word that I struggle saying. But if you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect different results, you're a what? Yeah, you're insane. You got to do something different. You got to stop caring about what people think and caring about what Jesus wants for you. So I'm going to pray. And you have time to wrestle with your thoughts. Will you engage? And maybe you want to pray about somebody completely random. That's fine. They're here for you. But don't let people's thoughts or opinions change your obedience. God, you're good. And like we worshiped this morning, you are worthy of our worship. God, I want nothing short of the miraculous. That this morning you would retrain our brains. You would show us who you are, that you are a chain breaker. You came to redeem and restore what's broken. You come to bind up, to heal broken hearts. God, you came to set us free from all that entangles us in this world. And God, I want nothing more than your freedom for our people. We call to you. We cry out to you, believing that you're going to hear us. And that, God, you're going to speak, show, you're going to bring truth into our lives. And God, it's your truth that sets us free. It's your truth that helps us walk in a different direction. So this morning I call for truth. I ask for truth. Truth in our own selves of understanding. Maybe we're walking the wrong path. Maybe we're heading the wrong direction. Maybe we're going the wrong place. And God, would you help us find truth? Maybe in confession. Maybe in acknowledging that we need your help. Maybe acknowledging that other things have become more important than you. And God, would you help us make some choices, like asking for help or choosing to fast. God, give us some things that just help provide space for you to mend, for you to heal, for you to correct, for you to transform. God, may we look to you today, but not just today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, and Wednesday, and every day after. May we acknowledge our desperate need for you every single hour of the day. And God, when our heart longs for things of this world, when we have guardrails or barriers or truths in place to help lead us back to you, to turn our attention to you, that we would see that you are our peace, you are our joy, our complete satisfaction, that everything that you offer us will fulfill us. Retrain our minds, refocus our hearts, God. Help us look to you. We love you. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Thanks for being here. You're dismissed this week.